But we want to look at the next generation of all-star tech entrepreneurs. Bloomberg Businessweek.com recently profiled the top young tech leaders, men and women under the age of 30, whose companies are worth millions. All this week, we'll be introducing you to them. And today, our guest is Steve Huffman. He's co-founder of online travel site Hipmunk, like chipmunk without the C. They allow you to filter trips by agony and not just by price. Among Hipmunk's backers, Ignition Partners, Y Combinator, SV Angel, and Ashton Kutcher. Welcome to InBusiness, Steve. How did Ashton end up as a business partner?
Well, we met him at Y Combinator's demo day. He had actually been at a handful of demo days, and he was one of the many investors we pitched to. And he was interested right away, and it worked out well for us because he's had a lot of insight into how to promote ourselves and basically grow online.
So what was the pitch? I mean, how do you differentiate yourselves from Priceline or Orbitz or the other travel sites?
Well, our pitch is pretty easy. We basically help users find plane tickets and hotel bookings easily online, whereas our competitors try to trick you into clicking on ads. So it doesn't take much for people to see what we're building and how good it is.
So where do you make the most revenue?
Right now it's on flights. We make all of our revenue basically linking to airlines or OTAs like Orbitz to do our actual bookings. And they give us a cut for sending them a qualified lead.
So when it comes to the user interface, I mean, how do you make it easy? And how do you market yourselves along those lines of less agony?
Sure. Well, so there's lots of things we do. So we present flight results graphically so you can intuitively see how flights compare to one another. And we sort flights by agony instead of by price. So if there's a flight that is shorter but $20 more expensive, we think you would probably like to take that. And we also don't show redundant flights over and over again. We let you see all of your options quickly. And with hotels, we show all the hotels on a map so you can see where in a city you'll be staying. And we also have heat maps that'll show where the interesting parts of a city are, where the bars are, or where the tourist destinations are. And so we try to make it as easy as possible for users to see what they're actually getting into as quickly as possible.
And this isn't your first startup. You, along with frequent guests on this show, Alexis Ohanian, put together Reddit. How did you turn that social media enterprise into lessons learned to create this version, Hipmunk?
Oh, I mean, that's a great question. Alexis and I started Reddit right after we graduated college, and we really didn't know what we were getting into. And so we made a lot of mistakes. We didn't know how to grow. I didn't know how to write software. There's all sorts of things we did incorrectly. But in Hipmunk, him and I have both learned a ton of lessons that we can apply to this new company. So everything is going much smoother this time around. So
tell me the story, though, of how Hipmunk came about, because that dorm meeting of you and Alexis, creating Reddit just out of school, we know that. How did you come up with the idea of Hipmunk?
So my co-founder in Hipmunk is Adam Goldstein. We met actually early on during Reddit, and we stayed in touch over the years. He was graduating MIT last year, and he kind of dragged me kicking and screaming into this startup. I told him, travel is a very startup hostile business. I want no part of it. And he kept reminding me that it's a huge market. The competitors in this space, while they all are like huge billion-dollar companies, they're also not doing anything interesting. And so there's a lot of low-hanging fruit for us to come through and just do a better job. And so I figured, what the heck? I'll do the best I can for a few months, and we'll see how it goes. And fortunately for us all, it's going quite well. And I'm really proud of what we've built now.
Okay, real quick, you sold Reddit. Would you sell Hipmunk?
Not immediately. I think we still have a long way to go on Hipmunk, and there's a lot of cool things for us to do yet.
All right, Steve. Congratulations on being named to the list. Fellow UVA grad, like that too.
Thank you so much.